Conductor, we have the mission to empower small business leaders, innovators, and entrepreneurs in Arkansas. We're located at the Arnold Innovation Center in downtown Conway. So this is a co-working space, very low cost, and all the programming that we do is at no cost. So Healthcare Innovation Sprint is at no cost for students. Workshops like this are at no cost to you all. And so we're a public-private partnership. And so we're really excited to get to be here and provide this content for you guys. So I will let Katie get started. She's with Bakersfield Media, and she will be going over operation and all of those things today. So if you guys want to give her a warm welcome and round of applause.
Like Tyler said, my name is Katie Johns. I'm the Director of Operations at Bakersfield. And today I'm going to talk to you guys about building operational excellence. And my role, I did create some examples of what that has looked like in the past couple of years for us to operate more efficiently and things. So as we get started, I wanted to tell y'all a little bit about myself. This is me at graduation. I am an alumni of UCA. I graduated with a bachelor's of science degree in public relations. So I spent a lot of time in Thompson in the school of communication, and I also minored in honors interdisciplinary studies. So I was in the Monroe Shedler Honors College and learned a lot of things from that program. And then I also minored in music, and so I was in the Snowcon Art Center a lot. I played in some wind ensembles, the Conway Symphony Orchestra, and really enjoyed a really fun college experience involved in all those different wheelhouses of things. So after college graduation, I got married to my husband, Taylor Johns. He's a band director at Conway Public Schools now. We actually met in the band at UCA. So that's been fun to get to do life together and stick around in Conway. Shortly after graduating and getting married, I started at Dig Creek as a project manager. And so that meant that I came in and from an organizational mindset helped just manage all the projects that were happening at the time. We had, I think I was about the 17th hire. And so at the time we were still a really small company and had a lot of specialist roles, whether it be graphic design or videography, web design, ad specialists, copywriters, things of that sort. It was a pretty small team. And so I helped kind of get some processes off the ground and organize some things where it maybe wasn't organized before, and then help manage the upkeep of those processes. So from my background of project management, you'll get to hear a lot about operations and how things have changed in the past few years at Dig Creek. And then I hope that it's super insightful all to take into your side hustles and small businesses. So just a little bit more about Dig Creek as we get started. Dig Creek's mission is to fuel growth for our clients and our team members. We have clients from a handful of different industries, from healthcare to boutiques to other small businesses, car washes, you name it. We get to work on a lot of different creative projects, and then we want to help our team members grow. And so that will be evident in a lot of the operational things that I'll talk about today. Our core values are go all in every day, remember the client, what you do, and win together. And the acronym spells out GROW. And so it's been fun to personally grow at Dig Creek and then see our team develop through the past few years. So our vision is to have served 2,000 businesses by 2028, which means that there's a lot of growth that will continue to happen at Dig Creek. So today I'll kind of talk about how building operational excellence has worked in my experiences at Dig Creek and give you a handful of examples for those. And with that, I wanted to provide some proof of the things that we're going to be talking about today. So since January of 2023, so in this past year, Dig Creek has doubled the size of their team. We've simplified and documented more than 75 processes, and those are just the ones that when I did a search in Google Drive came up right away. But we have a handful of Tankos and screen recorded videos and things like that, they're not counted there. We've completed an average of 500 tasks a week. And that's been really cool to see our team be able to do more work and continue to do it well. We've served 3 times more clients than we had initially in January of 2023. And then we have increased our team utilization rates by 20%. And that's been a really cool statistic that I've gotten to dig into the behind the scenes of, and I'll show you more behind the scenes of in a bit. We complete an average of 98% of our tasks on time. That was one of our maybe not so strong points when I first started out at Dave Creek. If you are a creative person or you're friends with a lot of creative people, then you know that creativity is lovely. And sometimes they don't like the boundaries and the structure of time. And so there's been a lot of growth that has happened in doing things timely as well as doing them with high quality work. And then our leadership team has solved more than 400 issues as a team. So, and I'll talk a little bit more about the behind the scenes of that and what an issue it is and how we collaborate to solve those things and operate efficiently. So, all of this I'll kind of refer back to as we go, like the proof of these statistics, and hopefully pull out some insights that relate to you. So I believe that in my experience, I've seen that operational excellence is built by learning from the past, managing the present, and predicting the future. And so those are the 3 main things we're going to talk about today. And the first one is about learning from the past. So that will be information that's either happened yesterday or happened 3 years ago. Some of that is statistics information and data, and some of that is people information, because there's that balance of the work that you do and the people on your team. And so we're going to talk through a few things there. So learning from the past, I think that you learn a lot from the past just by asking questions. And so here's a series of questions that I've asked over time and often return back to in time, like what sets my team apart? How do my team members feel? What data is important in order to track progress? What comes natural to each of my team members? Where do I see the people are stressed? What processes just aren't working? Are we using the right tools? What strengths, opportunities, or weaknesses or threats do we have? And then the simple question of why. And I can give a lot of examples when I've just asked a curious why and then found out a lot of behind the scenes information that's helped us refine a process, make life less stressful for an employee and things of that sort. So a few examples here. One thing that has really helped us address the past and understand things that have happened in the past is our L10 meetings. So Dave Creek runs on EOS, which is Entrepreneurial Operating System, that helps organize your business with 6 key things and help your business continue to grow and move forward and gain traction to reach your goals. And so one of the components of that is that each team member and each team has a weekly team meeting. And it's a time that they can count on, they can rely on, and they can bring issues to that meeting to discuss all together as a team. The agenda is, this is an example agenda from the design and social team one. The agenda is set up before in a Google Doc, and then anyone can add issues to the issues list. And so we follow kind of a structure, some segue time, review some data of what's going on, and I'll talk more about that in a bit. Talk about our rocks, which are basically our goals for the quarter. Are we on track or off track? Talk about headlines, and then we go into issues. And that issues list and giving each team member the flexibility to put whatever is an issue to them on that list has created a lot of clarity and transparency in our organization as we've grown, and helped me see what matters to my team members, and therefore it matters to me as a leader. Another way that I've been able to ask questions over time is in informal settings. And so Dave Creek is on Front Street downtown, and the coffee shop that's on Front Street is coffee, in case you didn't know that. And Lusa has great coffee, and it is not uncommon to see a member of the Dave Creek team taking a quick coffee break to walk down the street and get a latte and come back to work, or whatever it is they feel like they need that day to keep going. And so I learned a lot just in taking the time to match up my coffee break with someone else's and walk down the street and say, hey, how's it going? How was your weekend? What did you do? Oh, well, I was at the office on Friday until 9 o'clock. Oh, were you at the office on Friday until 9 o'clock? Let's talk about this. And then you learn, oh, well, there were too many priority things going on that day and too many fires to put out. And so I had to get the work done, had to stay till 9. And so then we can dive into, I'm like, okay, let's talk about that more later in our weekly team meeting and find out how we can follow up on making it where you don't have to stay in the office until 9 o'clock as far as it gets on the team and the organization. So informal conversations and asking questions there and being curious to find things out has gone a long way in my experience. And then another avenue of asking questions is through formal avenues. So Dave Creek has done a team satisfaction survey, and we plan to do it every 6 months going forward and just kind of track some of the results. So this is just a little snippet of that form, how we've had team members rate how they feel about things or rate their response to things, how much they agree with things, and then leave the space optional for them to explain their score. And this is all anonymous feedback. And so it's been really helpful to match up what a team member puts on an issues list with their team, comes to, one-on-one conversation, talks about, but then also maybe talks about in a anonymous forum and addressing that feedback as we go. So you can learn a lot from the past just by asking questions. And then in the present, managing the present with management things and accountability and leadership practices help you manage the present well. So this is where I have the opportunity of I'll do that in a second. You can manage by asking questions like, what tools can help us streamline things? What is the root cause of errors that are happening? What complex processes can be simplified here? Is the data that I'm collecting an accurate picture of what's actually happening? And then what needs to be addressed based on the data? So in business, I'll turn myself in. I'm a culprit of wanting to make decisions based on people's emotions all day long. And it is not wise business to just make decisions based on people's feelings all day long. And so we have tried to balance the data that we can collect and the things that we see happening and the hard facts and documenting those well and comparing that to feelings and emotions and making wise decisions using so this is where I have the opportunity of introducing you to Sherlock. And Sherlock is our AI project manager at Dave Creek now. So over time, Dave Creek has grown into a larger team, and from that, we've needed more organized-minded people to be a part of projects and keep them on track as we've grown the number of clients we serve and expanded our own business. So Sherlock helps with some of the mundane tasks for the project management team, like recording meeting notes and providing a transcription and doing a couple other fun things. But that arrow up symbol is actually the ClickUp logo. So ClickUp is a task managing software that we use at Dave Creek with our delivery team to help everything run really smoothly. And we have that organized in a way where there's different assignees, so like team members on tasks, and they get all the instructions that they need to do for that certain task. It may be a web designer with a template to build out a full brand new website, or it could be a website that we built 6 months ago that needs a new update. And so we're making an update on the site. So we use ClickUp for everything from the smallest little tasks to do's to the big projects and full out templates and things. So I love ClickUp. I have crowned myself the ClickUp queen of Dave Creek. And so we've had a lot of fun just diving into that tool and figuring out how else it can help us grow over time. And I can give an example here. When I started out at Dave Creek, with the team being small, every project and all the information about projects was coming to my email inbox as a project manager. And then I was putting it in ClickUp for the delivery team to manage and do the tasks. And what started happening as we were growing and serving a lot of clients was that I would get about 400 emails a day. And the impossible of personally addressing them all to keep projects moving through seamlessly back and forth between clients and our team. And so we ended up in like asking questions and reflecting on there has to be another way, and being determined that there could be another way for things to work, but still use our same people. We adapted to our chief strategy officer, found a way to match up ClickUp and HubSpot to talk to each other so that I could monitor inbound things, but they would come straight into ClickUp instead of in my email inbox. And then that made us be able to output and move faster and not stop gap a lot of our work over time. So another thing that has come from learning from managing the present is we have our team members track their time now when they're working on tasks. And then each day, each week, really, I look at a report of what the delivery team spent their time on, how they've used it, if we're utilizing all of our team, if we have teams that are maybe understaffed or overstaffed, and related back to problems and things. And so ClickUp has dashboards, and they will make these reports for you. So I just kind of screenshot this and took off people's names, but we have the assignee and their total time tracked, and then you can see by day with the Sunday and the Saturday in there, how much time was tracked in a day. And so now I can go have follow-up conversations if I need them. I can match this with their PTO on the calendar or their meeting hours on the calendar and know how well my team's being utilized and have that transparency to make wise decisions when partnering with the HR department of one at Dave Creek to make wise decisions for the future. Another thing that ClickUp has helped us refine is error-free delivery. Dave Creek Media is really cool in the sense that we hire a lot of people straight out of college or with not 10 years of experience. And so from that, we are refining and helping our team members grow. Some team members come in and they're not perfect at everything. They may be perfect at 5 things, and there's 5 things that they're growing in. And we are 100% willing to help them grow, but we also want to deliver error-free, perfect work to our clients every single time, on time, all the time. And so one thing that ClickUp has allowed us to do is to set statuses for tasks. And when we started out, we were going with ClickUp standard statuses where we assigned tasks, put them in progress, and then we went straight to external approval. And there was no internal review process that existed at all to refine things internally. And now we have team members who put their things in internal review with their team leaders. Their team leaders either put it back in progress because there's more work to do, or move it to internally approved. And then the younger team member gets the gratification of having something done perfect right off the bat, and then they get to send it over for external approval to the client. So this has helped us internally have error-free work, but also help our team members grow, which aligns with our mission. In that we can see what they still need help with, we can see what they need training in, we can set goals with them and work with them to continue. Only other thing about ClickUp with managing the present is priority things. So again, back when I was a project manager at Dave Creek and even into this last year, it was really hard for our team to determine high priority things from not high priority things. And so that example of a team member staying at work till 9 o'clock one day because there were fires to put out all day. When we dug into it, there actually were like a lot of candles lit, but not necessarily fires everywhere. And so we had, we've used ClickUp to establish priority levels in a way that our whole team cohesively knows what a red flag means, which is stop what you're doing and go do your task right now because it's a red flag and it really is a fire. And then the high priority thing, like this needs done the same business day. And before you leave today, this needs done. And then normal, which leaves it up to the project managers to fit it into their workload over time, or low, which is very similar. So it's helped our whole teams operate more efficiently and helped team members not have a ton of workload issues. Like our design team right now has tasks a week out from today, and the project managers are managing their workloads, trying to make sure they don't have too much to do in a day, but that all our deadlines are gonna be met. And so if they get hit with 5 urgent things all in one day, then we may have to adjust some low priority things in order to make that work in a day and still keep everybody happy. So it has, the clear communication here has helped us go from like, I think the data was like 40, 50 requests in a week that were high priority requests coming into the team. Now that we have clarity and understanding, and we have all the levels of high priority things. Now we have like 20 high priority things that are actually coming in. And so it's allowed us to help with workload capacity and refine the operations internally that like the public doesn't necessarily see this, our clients don't know this, but it helps our team operate really efficiently on the behind the scenes. Okay, so with managing things, you also lead people. And so there's a lot of people type questions you can ask if you're in a team, like, are there clear job roles for each seat on the team? Are there documented processes for each team's operations? What performance or core value issues need to be addressed? What development opportunities are available? And am I assuming? So we will lead people at Dave Creek by having a lot of documented processes, and this helps us hold people accountable to doing good work. And if we have issues, we can go back to, well, let's reference the document that already exists, that you've already been shown, and we can talk through that. And so that's it's okay to have in a perfect world, not everything documented because everything's perfect, but working with people, not everything is always perfect. And so it really helps to have documentation for expectations. And then at Dave Creek, we have quarterly reviews every 3 months. And in those, we now have rubrics for each specialty role. And that helps our team members have a lot of clarity about how they're doing job performance, and it helps their leaders and their team leaders have really clear, transparent communication, conversations with them about where they stand on things and how we can continue to grow. So what we normally do is we have the team members prepare for their quarterly reviews by rating themselves on the rubric. And then when they come to their quarterly review, their team member gets to go through the rubric with them and say, hey, you weren't meeting expectations here, and I see you exceeding. Let me talk to you about this and cheer you on. And then vice versa. Hey, you marked meeting, and I actually have a few things I want to talk to you about here with this expectation. Like, I don't see you advocating for the excellence of our team. And here's 5 examples, and let's talk about how we can make this better in the future. So then predicting the future. So as we look at a day-to-day where you're asking a ton of questions, constantly learning from the past, managing the present, meeting people well, managing things, trying to clear up things, make things transparent, and give as much clarity to your team as possible. Then you can look to the future. And with looking to the future, you can predict by talking about goals. And so are we setting SMART goals? What is most important to accomplish in the next 90 days? How does the quarter goal break down into my day-to-day role? What data can I start to collect that could determine future performance or goal setting? And then what can I do to invest in my team members? And so with goal setting, I'll talk about ClickUp again. ClickUp has a really cool goal option in it where you can set up milestones to a goal and break it down for your team members to where it will track their progress. So you can see, I reached my goal last quarter. It was awesome. We wanted to help with new client onboarding by appointing an onboarding specialist to be their right-hand person. Because we've had so much growth and updates and processes over time, the onboarding process changes a lot. And so we have our team leader project manager is now the onboarding specialist and helping refine and make sure that all clients start off on the right foot and we're exceeding expectations right off the bat. And so in order to roll out that role, I had to find the right person. I had to figure out the plan from taking it from the prospect and the sales side all the way into the company where they're fully integrated into Dave Creek and we're working with them and everything's running smoothly. I had to figure out the standard operating procedures that person would follow and document what my expectations were. had to test it out with all those things, and we needed a new client to do that. And then after our test, we needed to update the processes, refine the role and the expectations, and keep it going from there. And so this allowed me to, in ClickUp, keep track of my progress towards that goal. I could also time track the amount of time it was taking me to put in to reaching that goal, and it made it really a streamlined experience from start to finish of having a clear head of knowing exactly what I need to do to stay on track for that goal. And then when we're having our weekly team meetings, the CEO can say, hey, where are you at, Katie, on the onboarding specialist rollout position that you said you would work on this quarter? And I can go, well, I'm 38% of the way there, and actually have data and feedback and information to even just report to my direct reports about things over time. So when you're learning from the past, managing the present, predicting the future, I think you are operating with excellence from start to finish. And then I wanted to just show like a day in the life. And it's been really cool in my time at Big Creek to go from project managing, creating a lot from scratch, and feeling like everything was crazy all the time, to now I get set times in my day to touch base on a process, to touch base with a team member who's having an issue, to touch base on a high priority client, to look to the future, to work on live rocks, to look at how we can take a lot of the data that we have now and look at how we can take the data that we have now and use that to set goals in the future and get ahead and think forward thinking, because the day-to-day is operating smoothly.
All right, everyone give Katie a big